Hey, what's up guys? Daily challenges, Madam Nazar's location, and collector challenges. Today I woke up a little later than, well actually a lot later than I planned, so I figured what the hell, I'm just going to go ahead and finish all the challenges. But a pretty easy day today as far as everything can be done in free roam. We have bats, owls, ravens, wolves. We also have some things like clothing updated, also distance ran, feathers sold, so it could be a pretty easy day. I guess that depends on if you have animals spawning for you or not. So Madam Nazar is going to be located up in this area in Roanoke. So owls are up next. More times than not, they're going to be easier to find during the night. This is one of my favorite spots over here. If it's not on that rock, I'll run around, leave the area, come back, and hopefully it'll be there. Again, it all depends on if you guys are having luck with your animal spawns. Here are some other locations. I do have a couple of spots that I normally head to, like this spot over here, north of Blue Water Marsh and near the Kamasa River. At nighttime, you can find them flying overhead, but you see other locations where they are. That's the spot where I showed in that previous clip. You also can find them around the Hanging Dog Ranch area, up in Annesburg. You can find them in tall trees. Rathskeller Forks actually are not a bad spot too, and all over, you know, the New Austin area, flying around at night. So next up, we're going to talk about wolves, which usually are tricky for me. This is probably my go-to spot lately, as you can always find wolves here, usually bears. One good tip would be to maybe go ahead and go into cinematic, set your waypoint, and go to that area. As you see right there, as soon as I got there, they spawned. But some other good spots are these locations on the map here. That's the area that I showed in that previous clip. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll head up toward, you know, Amberino. If they're not there, I'll come back down the road, and a lot of times they will usually spawn. You can also find Strawberry, tall trees, you know, plenty of other locations up in Annesburg as well. You can also find them in this part over here near McFarlane Ranch. Another good thing, you can go ahead and do one of those on the hunt missions where you get the wolves, and hopefully you can go ahead and find it that way as well. Next, we're going to talk about bats. You can find these in a lot of areas. Most of these locations that I'm going to talk about are at night, but there is a good spot that you can find bats during the day. And this is the cave that is up near Roanoke Ridge. You'll see in the beginning of the clip, I entered the cave. There was not a bat hanging around there. What I like to do is go into the very back of the cave, just kind of, you know, go in every little corner. And then once you end up coming back out, you may be lucky and you end up finding a bat perched right on the front entrance. And you see it is daytime, so this is a great spot instead of having to wait till nighttime to find them, which can be a pain if you got to wait 15 to 20 minutes for the game to turn to night. But that's the location. There's another cave right there at Annesburg. You can take that little path from the dirt road in there. You also have Elysian Pool. The first clip where I showed the bats, this is the area where I was at. It's always a good spot. You can turn on your eagle eye, look up, and they usually leave a red trail. But all along the southern coast of roads too, you can find them. Again, nighttime is best. So next we're going to go ahead and talk about these collector challenges. We have day one locations today. Keep in mind some of these items will switch. There will be random items in certain locations. You also need a metal detector, and again, 8 p.m. East Coast time today, we'll switch to the new group. So I ended up deleting clips, unfortunately, that would be in like the Heartland area where a lot of the other daily challenges could be accomplished. But over here, you're going to be able to get jewelry, heirlooms, dig sites, arrowheads, tarot cards, and coins. First location is going to be a dig site, which normally is an heirloom. We'll move on to a piece of jewelry. This one could be either a coin or an arrowhead. Down here, same thing, either a coin or an arrowhead. We have a piece of jewelry. Then we have a quartz arrowhead. We have an arrow and an heirloom at Scratching Post. Move up to a tarot card at Gaptooth. Another tarot card just to the left of the E. Then we get to a dig site on the mountain, which could be jewelry or an arrowhead. And then over here, you could either find a piece of jewelry or a random coin at this location near Benedict Point. So next, we're going to move into Tumbleweed. First location is going to be a tarot card. We have two pieces of jewelry. Then we have some coins on the hill near the windmill. This one could be something that spawns for you. It's an antique bottle where there will be a dog on the path that will lead you to a lockbox on the hill. Then we have a tarot card and a piece of jewelry which could switch out to a random coin. Then at Rathskeller you have a dig site which should be an arrowhead, and then an heirloom inside the house here. Moving on to Armadillo, you're going to be able to find tarot cards, flowers, and some other random items. First location is going to be a tarot card. These next three locations are going to be wild rhubarb flowers. Then we move on to a tarot card at the burial site here. We also have another tarot card at this location behind the cemetery. We have a coin, another random coin which could switch out to another item, and there is an antique bottle there as well. So next we're going to go to McFarlane Ranch, and this is going to be a great area to get a lot of different items. You can get your arrowheads, flowers, heirlooms, dig sites. First two locations are flowers. That third location is an heirloom dig site. Move on to another flower at that location. This one could be an arrowhead or a piece of jewelry. There is a tarot card down at the dock. We have another dig site which should be an arrowhead. Another dig site which should be an heirloom, although those could switch. We have a coin at that location. Another dig site in tall trees which should be an arrowhead. We have a tarot card. Then we have an heirloom dig site. And then there is also a tarot card over here at Quaker's Cove. Last, we got some locations for antique bottles and eggs. There is an antique bottle just a little west of Van Horn. These next two locations are going to be eggs. Then we move on to an antique bottle in the bayou. Down here there are 3 eggs at that location, an antique bottle in Braithwaite Manor. There is an antique alcohol bottle just south of Cumberland Forest. 3 eggs at that location, an eagle egg at that location, and these last 2 spots are going to be antique alcohol bottles. Again, I apologize for the delay, but I woke up a lot later. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.